Father, forgive me, it's been a long while since I sat in this booth with something worth saying. It's Tuesday in November, I walked the whole mile from the bus stop to here, and the rain wasn't easing. 7 years married, 11 years known. I taught other people's children to spell and to reason, and I came home each evening to Daniel alone, watching football and eating what I left in the freezer. It started in March, ordinary Tuesday. He rang to say dinner was running till 10. A client, he said, someone up from the causeway. I said, drive safe, love, I said it again. And I would've left it, I swear I'd have left it, but I went to the car for the reusable bags and tucked in the sun visor, bent at the crease. It was a parking ticket and coats, the kind that still nags. I stood in the driveway in my old cardigan, the orange street light catching the print on the slip. 8:47 p.m., right, the machine says when, but the dinner he mentioned was somewhere on ship. Street, he said, I remember because I'd looked it up, thought I'd surprise and then talk myself out of it. And Coates is nowhere near Ship Street, so I put the bags back, went inside, said nothing of it. Father, here's the bitter irony of it all. I told myself a story so I wouldn't have to fall. I said traffic, a detour, a car park mistake. I made myself a liar for his honest sake. So forgive me, Father, for the things I chose not to see, for the questions I swallow, for the woman I used to be. I knelt beside my bed and I prayed for ordinary days. Now I'm kneeling here before you. God, the bitter irony, the bitter irony. I put the ticket in my coat pocket, the deep one on the right. I washed that coat 3 weeks later on a cold machine cycle, and I told myself the water made it right. And I hummed something cheerful and I read the parish notice, and I cooked a shepherd's pie on the Saturday night. And he said, this is lovely, and I said it's nothing, and I meant it both ways in the low kitchen light. There's a version of me in that driveway still standing, holding the ticket, reading it clean, asking the question that needed the asking, instead of deciding that nothing was what she had seen but mercy or cowardice. Father, I wonder which word is the honest one, which one is true. When you love someone long enough, they become the weather. You stop noticing what they do. I made his packed lunch on the Wednesday morning. I ironed his collar, I reset the bins. I went to school and read aloud a story about a bear who came home. The irony stings. So forgive me, Father, for the things I chose not to see, for the questions I swallow, for the woman I used to be. I knelt beside my bed and I prayed for ordinary days, and the ordinary days were a lie. That's the bitter irony. The bitter irony. He came home at 10, smelling of city and cold air. He kissed my cheek and said the client was pleased. I said, that's good, love, and turned off the lamp on my side and lay in the dark. And the rain came down on the roof of our life. tell you about April, the second Saturday, cold still, not quite spring. I went for the tire iron, a nail in the offside was Daniel's excuse for not fixing anything. He was at B&Q, said he'd be an hour. I popped the boot myself, the way he'd shown me once. And there, behind the hazard kit, like a quiet flower, was a pink box wrapped in tissue, the kind with the fonts. Chloe, the one in the bottle shaped softly, the one I'd pointed at in Boots the Christmas before. He'd said it was expensive, too much, too costly. And I said, never mind, love, and I said nothing more. I didn't pick it up. Father, I want you to know that I stood in the car park with my hand on the metal lip, and I breathed, I actually breathed, and I closed it. And I went back inside, and I didn't say a thing, not a bit. A month later, a receipt fell out from his jacket. I was checking the pockets before the machine. The Tibb Street wine bar, 2 glasses, no starter. Thursday in March, his book club, he said fortnightly. I stood at the washing machine, drumming, I read it, both sides like a document needing a witness. Then I folded it small and I pushed it way back in the pocket. And I turned the dial to 40 and went to make tea in the kitchen. Father, here's the part I can barely say. I carried this weight and I carried it carefully, like evidence of someone else's life. I was the last to know I was already his wife in name only. So forgive me, Father, for the things I chose not to see, for the questions I swallowed, for the woman I used to be. I knelt beside my bed and I prayed for ordinary days. Now I'm kneeling here before you, God. The bitter irony, the bitter irony. I googled the wine bar once on my phone in the bathroom at 11:10 while he watched the news downstairs. I looked at the photos, low lighting, exposed brickwork, small tables for 2, red tea lights, dark chairs. I thought, who did he take there? Was she pretty? Did she laugh at his jokes the way I used to when we were still new? And I closed the browser and cleaned my teeth and went to bed and lay beside him and looked at the ceiling and thought, it's probably nothing, the way you think things when the truth is too large to pass through. You know the cruelest part, Father? I've always trusted my instincts with everyone else. At school I can spot a struggling child from the doorway, a changed routine, a pulled sleeve, reading the signs by itself. But with Daniel I had a different policy, a kind of deliberate looking away. Not blindness, something more active than blindness, a trained, daily, patient turning away. So forgive me, Father, for the things I chose not to see, for the questions I swallowed, for the woman I used to be. I knelt beside my bed and I prayed for ordinary days, and somewhere she was wearing my perfume. That's the bitter irony, the bitter irony. He made pancakes on the Sunday, said, you've been quiet, everything alright? I said, just tired, half term coming. He said, go have a lion, you've earned it, it's fine. And I went upstairs and I lay in the bed that smelled like him, and I closed my eyes and I was so tired. Father, the Sunday it ended was ordinary, the way the worst days tend to start out the same. October light, thin and watery, his iPad on charge in the hall where it always came. To rest, he'd been using it for work from home meetings, and stopped, got a newer one, left this one plugged in the wall. I passed it a dozen times without reading, until the morning I stopped in the hall. I don't know what made me, the mood or the weather, or 2 years of small things accumulating like dust. I touched the screen, it lit up, it opened. Together we'd shared a passcode once, out of trust. And there was the messages app, there was a thread, 247 pages, 2 years. Sasha, it said at the top, and I read until my legs stopped working, and I sat on the floor in my ears. The radiator hummed against my spine. I read things a wife is not built to receive. Plans for a weekend, a hotel in Vine Street, Newcastle, the 15th of last February. While I was at my mother's with the chest infection, while he said, catching up at work alone. I sat on the floor with October light in the window, and the coffee went cold on the kitchen counter on its own. And then there was the one that broke the last thing. Sasha wrote, I hate that you always have to go home. And he wrote back, I know. Just the 2 words, Father, I know, I know. So forgive me, Father, for the things I chose not to see, for the questions I swallowed, for the woman I used to be. I knelt beside my bed and I prayed for ordinary days. Now the ordinary days are ash and smoke, the bitter irony, the bitter irony. I heard him come down the stairs at 9:30. I was still on the floor, but I stood up. I placed the iPad flat on the table, face up and aligned, and I stood by the sink and I picked up my cup. And he walked in, saying, morning, sleep alright. And then he saw the screen and the color left him like a curtain pulled back to let in winter light. And everything he built between us collapsed to the rhythm of the boiler clicking, the tap dripping, the ordinary sounds of a Sunday in a house that had already ended. He said, let me explain. And I said, I've been reading for 2 hours, so there's very little left to explain. He cried, Father, he actually cried. And part of me, that part that 11 years makes, wanted to comfort him, which is the strangest pain. I didn't though. I sat at the table and I let him talk. And he named her and he dated it, and he described how it had started, how he'd meant to stop. And I thought, there's that parking ticket in the coat pocket, and that pink box in the boot, and all those Thursdays I let myself believe in nothing. So forgive me, Father, for the things I chose not to see, for the questions I swallowed, for the woman I used to be. I knelt beside my bed and I prayed for ordinary days. And now I'm on this cold bitter irony, the bitter irony. He asked me what I wanted. I said, I don't know yet, Daniel. I need you to leave. He left, and the house was very quiet, and the coffee was cold on the counter, and the autumn light moved slowly across the floor. And I sat there until it was dark. Father, you've been very patient with me. I've talked for a long time, longer than I planned. This booth smells of old wood and candle wax and something I can only call the weight of other people's hands. I came here not exactly for forgiveness. I'm not sure what I did that needs absolving most. Perhaps for choosing not to look, the studied blindness, or perhaps for the marriage I was keeping like a ghost. I've been staying in the house. He's at his brother's in Salford, which is close enough to be convenient. The school was kind. My colleague Helen covered my Thursday and my Friday without question. I've been very functional. I want you to know that I stripped the bed, I changed the towels to white. I bought myself a bunch of dahlias from the market, yellow ones, they're on the sill. They look alright. His solicitor rang, mine is Gina Marsh, a woman in Didsbury who came recommended. She said, you have a strong position, this won't be harsh, as long as you're clear on what you want when it's ended. And Father, that's the question, isn't it? Not as infidelity, I've sat with that, I know its face, but who I am now on the far side of it, and whether I can build something in this emptied space. Father, here's the last bitter irony I'll give you. I think I always knew, not guessed, not feared, knew the way the body knows before the mind allows it through. And the question I've been sitting with on this stone floor is not what he did, but what it means about me that I let it. So forgive me, Father, for the things I chose not to see, for the questions I swallowed, for the woman I used to be. I knelt beside my bed and I prayed for ordinary days, but I think I needed this to find me, the bitter irony. The bitter irony. He texted on Wednesday asking if I needed anything from the house. I said there's nothing left here that belongs to you. He said that's fair. I made pasta and I watched something forgettable, and at 10 I went to bed on my half of the bed and then slid to the middle, first time in 11 years. The whole mattress, and I thought that's something, that's a small strange something, small and strange and mine. I'm not gonna be one of those women who says it made me stronger. I haven't earned that sentence yet, maybe I will, but I am gonna be different. I've already started. I'm learning something about staying, something about will, about how love is not the same as paying the toll for someone else's passes through their life, about how a good woman is not required to be invisible, about the difference between a partner and a wife. So forgive me, Father, no, thank you, Father, for letting me speak, for the questions I finally asked, for the woman I'm trying to be. I've knelt beside enough beds, praying for ordinary days. Now I'm praying for something true, even through the bitter irony. Even through the bitter irony. I light a candle on my way out for the woman I was in that driveway in March, holding a parking ticket, almost asking the question, almost. The dahlias are yellow, the solicitor's good. The middle of the mattress is mine now, and the rain has stopped. It stopped.